So have you ever stopped and wondered, what isn't being said inside your organization? Today, we are diving deep into what it takes to build a speak-up culture. And let me tell you, this is way more than just another compliance checkbox. This is about turning what could be a dangerous silence into a genuine strategic advantage. All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at the incredibly high price of silence. Then we'll get into the psychology of why people stay quiet. After that, we'll cover the legal side of things, which is getting pretty serious. Then we'll get practical and talk about building a program that actually works. And finally, how to keep that culture alive and kicking for the long haul.
Okay, first things first, let's talk about the stakes here. Because in any organization, it's often the things that go unspoken that cause the most damage. They just fester under the surface, Until one day, boom, they blow up into a full-blown crisis.
Get a load of this number, 40%. That's it. That's the percentage of employees who actually see something wrong and step up to report it. Think about that for a second. This isn't just a number, it's a massive blind spot for any company.
So it begs the question, right? What on earth is happening with that other 60%? Well, that silent majority, that's where the real risk lives. It represents all the unresolved problems, the safety issues, the little ethical compromises that leadership never even hears about. And honestly, this is where the biggest corporate disasters have their roots, in warnings that people were just too afraid to share.
So why? Why do so many people just stay quiet? To really solve this, we've got to dig into the very human reasons behind that silence. Let's break down the biggest barriers. It pretty much boils down to 4 big things. Number 1, and this is the big one, is just plain old fear. Right behind that is futility. This feeling that, why bother? Nothing's going to change anyway. And then you've got the practical stuff, like not having a safe, anonymous way to say something, or the reporting process being a total maze. And let's be crystal clear about this. Fear is, without a doubt, the number 1 reason people keep their mouths shut. They're worried about their jobs, their careers, being labeled a troublemaker. Nobody wants to put their livelihood on the line, so they stay silent. It's the path of least resistance. And if you need proof of just how powerful that fear is, look no further than this. When companies actually offer an anonymous option to report something, roughly half of all the initial reports come in that way. That tells you everything you need to know about how much people crave that safety net.
Now, this isn't just about what's happening inside a company anymore. This has become a major legal issue. Encouraging people to speak up isn't just a nice to have, it's quickly becoming a legal requirement all over the world, and the penalties for ignoring it are steep.
I mean, just look at the global trend. In the EU, their whistleblower directive is serious business. It requires internal channels and even threatens jail time for anyone who retaliates. Then you hop over to the US, where laws like Sarbanes-Oxley and Dodd-Frank don't just protect whistleblowers, they sometimes reward them with cash. The message from governments is loud and clear.
And believe me, these laws have some serious teeth. $22 million. That's what a major bank had to pay because it illegally fired a manager who did the right thing and reported misconduct. The cost of punishing someone for speaking up is just staggering. Okay, so we've established the risks, we know the law is cracking down, so what do we actually do? How do you build a program that makes people feel safe enough to raise their hand when they see something wrong?
A really solid program is built on these 4 pillars. 1, you need multiple ways for people to report, and they have to be easy to find. 2, you absolutely must guarantee anonymity. 3, your no retaliation policy can't just be words in a handbook. It has to have real consequences. And 4, you got to act fast, investigate, and let the person know they were heard. That's how you build trust.
And a huge piece of this puzzle? Your managers. They are the front line. In really healthy organizations, people are almost twice as likely to go to their direct boss first. So you have to train your managers to listen without judgment, to thank people for their courage, and to know exactly what to do next. They are critical.
But look, setting up a program is really just the start. If you want this to stick, you have to constantly measure how it's doing and keep nurturing that culture. This is not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
To really know if your program is working, you need to look at both the hard data and the soft data. Sure, track the number of reports. Are certain departments totally silent? See how quickly you're closing cases. But you also have to just ask your people directly in surveys. Hey, do you feel safe here? Because their perception, well, that's your reality.
And this brings us to a really interesting, kind of counterintuitive point. A spike in reports doesn't necessarily mean you have more problems. It could actually mean you have more trust. On the flip side, if everything suddenly goes quiet, That's not a good sign. That's a red flag that fear is creeping back into the culture.
I think this quote just nails it. It reframes this whole conversation perfectly. We started off talking about avoiding risk, but a truly great speak-up culture is so much more than a defense mechanism. It's an asset. It builds trust, it boosts your reputation, and it can give you a real competitive edge.
So, we'll leave you with this one question to think about. When you look at your own organization, is its silence a sign of health? Or could it be a symptom of a hidden risk just waiting to surface? Answering that honestly, well, that could make all the difference.